Share group. Share. Hey guys, what's up? I don't know if people are on yet. Turn the music down a little bit. Just sharing this out really quick. This is our first run at the relationship pop-up, where we're just doing readings on relationships, like between brothers and sisters, bosses and employees, husbands and wives, whatever the relationship is. And we decided that we were going to take reservations on it because when I share, it sort of gets a little bit crazy and people start donating, and then I'm like watching PayPal and getting all crazy. So I publicized tonight's event. Hey Jessica, hey Angel, hey Rose, hey Althea, hey Tammy, hey Michelle, or Michaela. I have a question for you, Michaela. Is it Raybert, or did you spell that wrong? You're on the reservation list for a reading for you and Raybert, and I think you meant to say Robert, but you spelled it Rabert. Can you answer that for me? Hey Yesenia, hey Janet. It is Robert, I thought so. I wrote it down as Raybert just in case, because I wasn't sure, but I was like, and it was kind of funny because I call you Michaela, and then you're telling me your dad's name is Raybert, and I'm like, is this like the universe like being silly? All right, so I do have my reservation list for those of you that are watching that weren't aware. So we're gonna start there, and we're gonna do these readings tonight. It's, here it's still sunny out, so we're not under the new moon, but the new moon's somewhere out there getting ready to come in. So tonight's all about new affirmations and creating new paths for ourselves and getting rid of old energy and bringing in new, so we can keep that in mind and set the intention of that. Tonight is strictly readings on relationships, where there's going to be 2 cards per each reading. One card will represent the seeker, and then the other card will represent the other person in that relationship. So we're reading the relationship. We're not reading a third party without their permission. We're actually just reading the energy of the relationship, how they sort of behave in the relationship. I think I saw Janet. Hey, Nancy. Janet, are you here? Janet is here. Okay, cool. You're my first one on the list. And Janet, I actually don't have your relationship name. I need his name. It starts with an I. I think you gave it to me and I forgot to write it down. Hey, Sherry Hoffman. And, like and share this to any groups that you want to. And oh, by the way, if I decide, I'm trying to keep my energy kind of mellow tonight. If I decide to take more after these reservations, I'll let you guys know. And at that point, somebody can then donate. But I just don't want it to get crazy. Linda, I've already got reservations right now. But if you want to be I'll put you first in line if I take more. How does that sound? I put out a sign that said, a sign in the group, in the Engelgeist group, that said, get your reservations together for this. And it was $10 for the reading, $5 for each card, essentially. So each reading is 2 cards, like I said. And so I did that. Hey, Denise, how are you? Ian Thompson, I knew it was an E. I mean an I. I'm a little wacko today. All right. Yeah, so we're doing it. We're trying to conserve my energy, and that way I'm not like paying attention to PayPal and everything else, and trying to read the comments, and I'm trying to do these readings seriously. So just to give you guys a little idea of what I do relationship-wise. But Althea, if you stay with us through the reads, I can add you behind Linda. And if you wanted to donate then, I could do one for you then, but I'm just not sure if I will make it that deep in. So, does that make sense to everybody? All right. So, anyways, Janet, are you ready to go? Janet Munoz, are you ready? Because I'm ready to do you and Ian Thompson. That I'll add Sage, but I can't guarantee I'm gonna even do that. Let's just get started. Yeah, I added Sage to the wait list. Janet, are you ready for your reading with you and Ian? Okay, you're so ready. Okay. Okay, so Janet, the first card's going to represent you. The second card's going to represent Ian. And the interesting thing is the energy when I was doing the shuffling, it felt pretty good. Like the two of you kind of come together pretty easily. It didn't feel like there was a lot of resistance or a lot of fighting. When I flip over your card, it feels like you're indecisive. You get the Hanged Man card, which is always like this sort of like decision. It makes me wonder. When I look at this card, it makes me wonder sort of what Ian's up to that has you sort of second guessing his behavior. It feels like it might be sort of detrimental or sort of scary to you, or worrisome, if that makes any sense at all. You guys, I can't, Laura Carpenter, I'm sorry, I got to start these reads. This is the thing. Like, if you guys aren't, this has been up for a whole week. And see, now I start getting people. Thank you for the yes, Janet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it feels to me like you look at him as if he's in a dangerous situation or in a precarious place, like he's kind of meth. Okay, I was gonna say like addiction. But the funny thing is like you guys don't like have a lot of struggle in your shuffle. That's the weird thing. But let me get to his cards and don't give me too much information, just yeses, please. But it looks like he's kind of like flushing his life down the toilet. I mean, let me just show you the picture of the hangman. Do you see this? This is like Ian to me, to you, and that's the toilet bowl going down the toilet. So when you say meth, I can sort of understand that. But so that's where you see him and how you're dealing with him in the relationship, or where you're looking at him at. And it's kind of like your decision whether or not you continue to hold space for him and love him or not. Jesus Christ. I wish you hadn't said meth. His card is the oppression card. I mean, look at this card. It's dark, and this is totally the only other like really drug-related card that's in my deck. So for this to show up, it's all about self-induced torture. It's all about self-abuse. It's all about masochism. He is a tortured little soul right now, unfortunately. I hate to kick this off for our relationship night of love, because I know that today's card was the love card. But the thing is that we can love somebody that can't love themselves, but we can't sync with them. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what I see in these two cards. It really looks like you're kind of holding space for Ian, but it doesn't look like you're like 100% sure you can hang on for much longer. And Ian, to me, unfortunately, it really looks like he is, he's kind of got to face these demons on his own. He's like sort of choosing it. Like he doesn't, like I almost feel like, Because this is the oppression card, it's like I feel like he's smart and he's aware, like he knows that it's shit's fucked, but he can't stop himself. Like he can't, it's like a self-inflicted, it's not like he's being a jerk, you know, like he's not being a prick for being a prick's sake. He's like self-flagellating, you know, like when the priest, I get this picture of like a priest like whipping his back, like he just won't give himself a break, you know what I mean? And he does that with the drugs, and it's like he's sort of kind of like oppressing himself basically. So I'm gonna leave that there. Like I said, you guys, I can do bigger readings on relationships that give a whole lot more information. These are just short mini read pop-ups. So that's your two cards. I'm sorry that they're sort of dark, but I'm really glad that you're so willing and open about, you know, sharing the information and, you know, validating me and saying yes, but also, you know, really validating by talking about Ian's private business. Um, I wish you two all of the best. Tonight's new moon is a great time to set affirmations for yourself within your relationship with Ian and where you hold Ian in your space, how you hold Ian in your space. And really, unfortunately, it's going to be up to Ian how he holds himself in his own space that's really going to make any sort of difference in this relationship. You can't do it for him, and I think you kind of know that. That's why you're in this position of the hanged man. It's like you're trying to make this decision. Um, uh, if you can. Hi, Caroline. If you would read, I have reservations at a whole line of them. Unfortunately, I'm not taking requests. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next reading. The next reading is Jen Sheldon. Are you here, Jen Sheldon? Is Jen here? Jen may not be here, so I might just have to read Jen really quick without her being here. Yeah, I have a little bit of a waiting list, Caroline, if I can get through it. Is Jen Sheldon here? Do you want me to add you to the wait list, Caroline? Hi, Julie. All right, Jen Sheldon's not here, I don't think yet. I'm going to skip Jen and go to the next person because I know she's here. Michaela, Michelle Seward. Are you ready? Because you're up for the next two. Are you with me, Michelle? Oh, you are here. Okay, Jen Sheldon is here. All right. Yes, here doing the dishes. LOL. Do you need time to stop? Oh my God, this is crazy. All right, Michelle, you're going to be next, okay? I'm going to do Jen's right now since she's here and she's doing the dishes. So, Jen, we're doing Jen Sheldon and her husband, Steve. All right, so give me one moment. Okay. So I'm going to say this about you, Jen. You and your husband Steve are not without your guys' fights or like say disagreements. I felt there was a little bit of resistance in the card, like a little bit of a struggle, like push pull, but you guys do come together in the end. It feels like even if there is a fight or a struggle or a battle of wills, it's a fair fight. It feels like to me, and the two of you kind of knock heads, but you still sort of. Um, uh, Come together in the end and sort of make it work. It is what it feels like to me, because it felt like the cards were sort of sticking as they were coming together, but towards the end they fit nicely together. Does that make sense? So it's kind of this like you got to put in a little bit of work for the reward of the relationship. Are you with me on that? Can I get a yes? Does that sound like the correct energy? Jen. Oh, dead pause. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. There we are. Okay. Can you put your plates down for a minute and just pay attention? Okay. So when I flip over your card is the star card. This is one of my favorite cards of the deck. It's interesting to me because she feels a little isolated. Like it feels like I haven't flipped over his card yet to see. Well, let me look. Okay. So both of you are kind of in your corners, I feel like. I feel like you guys support each other, like you're both two sort of independent people. But when I look at this star card, she's beautiful, she's compassionate, but she feels like she has to kind of do it all on her own. It sort of feels like she's a real strong-willed sort of woman, is how I want to describe this card, which is not normally how I see the star. I see the star more as passive. But this star card to me feels like she kind of holds the power. She maybe makes you guys might have to fight and struggle a little bit, but like she kind of makes the final say. It feels like to me a little bit. And then on the other side is Steve's card, and this is equilibrium, which is the Two of Cups. And it feels like to me he's kind of the one that keeps everything sort of balanced. Jill St. Martin, this is not your reading, dear. So you jumping up and down and going, this is me, yup, you're actually kind of confusing things. So this is actually for Jen Sheldon. So if you can relate to it, that's great. You can relate to it. I'm really happy for you, but I think that Jen Sheldon would be kind of pissed if you're messing with her husband, Steve. Okay. Anyways, so so Jen, are you with me? Like, because I'm reading all of Jill's comments, and Jill's not even on my list. So I'm trying to figure out if Jen is with me. Oh my God, this is nuts. You guys. With all the laughing faces. So, Jen Sheldon, are you even there, my dear? Yes, she can come do my dishes too. Oh, that's Steve. Okay, Steve's in the room. So, Steve, like what I want to say about you is I feel like you're sort of the balancer. Like you keep everything sort of at bay. You keep everything cool, calm, and collected. You feel a little bit like you have a lot of boundaries up. Both of you feel like you kind of have boundaries up. Like you both feel very independent and almost like even though you're in this relationship together, you kind of hold your own spaces in your corners. Does that make sense? It's like you come together well, but you kind of maybe when you argue, like the star card says to me that Jen kind of has to get her way. It doesn't matter. She's like the star. And the equilibrium card here says to me that sometimes easier, not easier for you, but like it's just like you're more about keeping the peace and keeping the calm and keeping things under control emotionally and keeping it together. And so, and you do that quite well. So you're like kind of the I don't know, that maybe the foundation that she is able to sort of stand on and sort of be her sort of star self from, if that makes sense. I feel like I said, your relationship is not without work. Like these are two very independent, sort of strong-minded individuals, and sometimes you guys probably collide over that. But I feel like it's an equal fight. It feels to me, and it feels like both of you kind of, even if things maybe get a little bit opinionated, let's say, you guys have a way of actually evening the other one out. If like she kind of has this ability with the star card to lift you up in your equilibrium card, but you also have the ability in this equilibrium card to kind of keep her balanced and sort of bring her back down a little bit, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense for you guys. It's kind of hard to tell because the comments are going so fast. I'm seeing all these like laughing, tear-eyed faces, and I'm like, okay. So I think you guys are a nice pairing because you both kind of can support each other from the positions that you're in. But I do think that you also kind of, and Jen's got a little bit, like, it's funny too. I see like this prickly nature with Steve, and Jen's got a little bit of a fiery underbelly to her too. Like when she gets mad, like, ooh, watch out. But anyways, I'll leave that there. And if you wanted a further detailed reading, they're always available. You can message me. Okay, so now, Michaela, Michelle, are you ready, my dear? Are you there? Hey, Angel. All right, Michelle Seward. Okay, perfect. So we're doing you and Nick first. Okay. See, Michelle was smart and she reserved. So 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna say this. I feel like it started out good with between the two of you, and then it got a little like heavy or a little bit like more of a struggle. Like it's not quite, we're not quite as sure as we were in the beginning. Like in the beginning, things were sort of cute and sweet and good and uh, easy, and now it's like I feel like I want to step back and go like, wait. This is more of a struggle than I thought it was going to be, or this isn't working as easily as I thought it was going to be. Oh, wow. And so there's definite resistance there. When I flip the cards that you've got, Michelle, your card is the death card. So right there, it feels like, I feel like you're bringing, when I look at this card, I feel like you're bringing all the history of your past relationships with you into this relationship, and it's not good, girl. It feels like you're kind of carrying, you're welcome, Steve. Um, uh, uh, but it feels like you're kind of over it in a way. Like you almost walk into relationships sort of like rolling your eyes like, oh God, here we go again. And you might get like kind of excited at the very beginning, but when stuff starts to like fall apart or the wheels start to fall off, you're just like, oh Jesus, here we go. Here we go again. So that's your card. And I feel like that's sort of like something that you need to sort of change or stop doing. Stop bringing like your history with you, or like it's almost like you expect these things to fall apart before they even start. And that's why the death card is like here. In Hold on, sorry. In his card though is the Nine of Crystals, which is narrowness, and so he's like kind of a little bit of a. I feel like he's sort of like a jerk in a way. Like he can't think beyond maybe himself. Um, but see, the funny thing is it's like I feel like with this death card, you're kind of not thinking much beyond yourself either, but you're thinking about like your historical self, like your relationships that you've had and like things that have happened, and you kind of go into this new relationship kind of worrying and waiting for the same sort of thing to happen, or you're picking like the same type of guy, right? This to me seems like he's sort of like a little bit like his way or the highway, and he's not, it doesn't seem like he's very warm, loving, compassionate kind of guy. It feels more like he might be a little bit like a jerk. like his opinions might rub people the wrong way. He might say the wrong thing at the wrong time. he might be a little bit sort of selfish at times, that kind of a thing. So I kind of think that you're sort of maybe automatically also expecting that, and then he's certainly giving you that too. And so, as far as a relationship, I don't know that this is going to last for a really long time or be all that great. Does that make any sense? Like, it was good in the beginning, and maybe that seemed a little surprising for a minute, but it's already struggle bus. Okay, so while I have you here, Michelle, we're going to do your next one. So you and Robert, okay? And I know that you said that Robert is your dad. So give me one moment. Okay. So what I want to say is I feel like there's also some struggle within that relationship too. But I feel like there was definite love there, but there was like maybe some struggle, like some fighting or resistance. Do you know what I mean? Like opinions. Maybe you guys, like there was always love there, but like I felt like there was a butting of heads. I kept getting sort of this idea that. Because let me just look here. Wow. Okay. So as I was shuffling the cards, all I kept wanting to say to you is like, don't worry, like it's okay, like for all the fighting and stuff. And so when I look at your guys' cards, I see the Hermit, right, which is you, and that to me feels like you're still healing from his passing. And I feel like there's a little bit of regret in there. And I feel like there's maybe some sadness that you're still healing. I feel like maybe that also somehow plays into that death card a little bit too, that you bring into your relationships, is because like um, I'm not sure what your. I think this might have something to do with your relationship with your father a little bit, and the colliding of. There was still love there, though. I definitely felt the love, but it was. There's strength in this card, in this Hermit card, okay, and I feel like when I look at it, I feel like I want you to know that there's strength in this card, that there's knowledge in this healing that you're going through, and in this time that you're in right now, there is a healing. And I heard a great thing where they were talking about the other day at Approach Road. This woman that reads cards, she was talking about how being in charge of like we're never in charge of like how our heart breaks, but we're in charge of how much or how it scars, like when it breaks. We get to mend it, we get to fix it, we get to heal it. And so that's what I feel like this card is for you in this relationship now. And I feel like you're sort of left on your own to sort of heal it. And I get that. And that's what makes me sort of feel emotional about it. On the flip side, on your father's side, I see the Eight of Wands, which is harmony. And this long pathway to the other side in this rainbow, it's like, it totally feels like this card doesn't necessarily represent the other side to me, but it does in this way. Like, it feels like he's over on the other side telling you, don't worry. Like, I love you and we're harmonious now. Like, don't worry about the old fights. Don't worry about the old stuff that went on between us. Don't worry about all of that stuff, because he loves you. And you're strong like him. That's kind of the reason why you guys fought so much, is you were maybe strong like him. And so the harmony, he wants you to know that he loves you, and so don't let that stuff let you hide. Like don't like this hermit card feels like you're hiding a little bit, right? And so don't let that stuff. Don't carry that stuff for so long that you stay hidden too long, right? That's kind of what we want to say, I think. And he loves you, and he's in a good place. Like he's okay. This harmony card is he's telling you he's okay with you and who you are, and he loves you and is proud of you and all of that, and he's in harmony with where things were at when between the two of you. Although I feel like you're not necessarily allowing um, uh, the guilt or something like this. That's what this hermit card is this regret or this guilt that you need to let go of, and that you're working on, and you will. There's knowledge in this card, and you will learn how to let it go and heal yourself and move through this. There's an end at this at some point. Hey, Sue George, how are you? I hope that made sense, Michelle. Whew, I need a sip of water in just a minute. 1 second. Okay, so Angel, are you here? Angel calling for Angel Abels. And we're doing a reading for Angel. Thank you, Nancy. Ooh, that was intense. Like I could feel that like all through here. You're here. Okay, perfect, Angel. Are you ready to have you and Carlos read? Surprise! Somebody bought you a reading. I'm not telling you who either. All right. So if you're ready, give me the go ahead. Are you ready, Angel? Now is a good time to switch out the music. One moment. Oh God, you better be ready. Hold on, let me just switch out the music. I need some music in the background. I don't own the copyrights to any of this music, by the way. I don't know if I need to post that or not, but anyways. All right, so here we go. Angel and Carlos. All right, so I feel like yours is similar to Jen's. It feels like you guys kind of maybe struggle a little bit at times, but you actually know when to sort of back off from one another, or sort of like to let it breathe, to bring it back together and make it sort of work. But it's not like it's without work. It feels like you have a little bit of resistance and a little bit of a struggle, but you kind of, I definitely felt like there was this sort of like, okay, let's back up and breathe and go, and then and then move forward and try again. And when it does come together, it's not so bad. It kind of works, but it just requires some work. And there was also a little bit of fear in that shuffle too, like that I wasn't sure about. So when I flip your cards, you get the Eight of Crystals, which is synthesis, which says to me, you're way up in your head, girl, and you're trying to find where to relate with him and how to almost like, I almost want to say like you're trying to figure out how to fix him. Not that he's broken, but like how to get in his head and figure him out so that you can do the right thing to make him really treat you the way you want to be treated. And I think that he does do good things for you, and he does treat you well, but he's sidetracked. Like his card is the devil's play, which says to me that he wants to like sort of have a good time and party and be like kind of, not that he's not committed, but like he's sort of all over the place. Like he just sort of feels a little bit like maybe impulsive might be the word, and a little bit thinks about, like, does it first before thinking about how it might affect others and or you. And then you're on the opposite side of the spectrum with this Eight of Crystals card, thinking about like, how do I make this work? And the communication is not really quite adding up. It's like you're more serious than he is, or you're taking it more serious than he is. It stresses you out more than it stresses him out. He feels a little bit like, hey babe, let's just relax and chill and have fun, and like don't why be so uptight, blah 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 blah. He's also not as responsible as you are either. But you try and make it work because there's something about him that's very attractive, and when he's like when it's good, it's great. Like, you know, it's got its high, like this card has its positives too. Like it says to me that the fun times can be really, really fun, but it can sort of get out of hand, I feel like, with him. And you're a little bit wanting more control and more like clearer communication. And you're having a hard time getting that, or it's not communication that you feel is serious enough or grounded enough, or but you're still working at it, right? So like I said, your relationship isn't without its fair share of like work, but you're both like sort of smart enough to know when to like kind of back off and then come back together and try again, and it sort of works. The only thing I would suggest as a like a little aside, or as a suggestion, is don't make this all about you conforming to him, because it feels like that a little bit. It feels a little one-sided in the sense that it doesn't feel like he's having a good time and whatever, and yeah, he does great stuff, like maybe, but I feel like you're the one sort of trying to figure him out to make sure that you can fix the relationship or make the relationship work. And I don't know if he's necessarily putting in as much effort or worry, or do you know what I'm saying? But maybe you don't need to worry if you can let him be who he is. But this Devil's Play card too also could suggest that, you know, his impulsiveness is going to be a problem, because you're looking for like balance and grounding, it feels like, in the other card. And I don't know that he can provide that. All right, so that was Angel and Carlos. So do we have a Tammy Chirasso Kidwell, please? Tammy, are you in the house? Oh yeah, Ducky's reminding you guys, I do the daily forecast. You can join my Facebook group or subscribe to my YouTube channel and see the daily forecast. Today's card was the love card, and it happened to be on the day that we're doing the relationship readings, which we thought was kind of cool. All right, Tammy, so we're doing you and DJ. All right, so Tammy, I feel like you and DJ don't have, it's not, I felt like there was more struggle in earlier relationships, right? It feels like there's a little bit of resistance and a little bit of a struggle, but it doesn't feel as intense, right? Between you and DJ as some of the other shuffles. When I look at your cards, let me see here. So yours is the Woman of Cups, which is Rejoicer. And she's very feminine, and she's like, Like, I think he makes you feel kind of really good emotionally. And I think sometimes, I don't know if he goes away for periods of time and you miss him at times, and that sort of sucks. But beyond that, he kind of makes you feel sort of good. Is that correct? Because this card to me feels like you're sort of loving it. It's not all perfect all the time, but it's not as, it could be a hell of a lot worse as far as, what I think. Hi, Wendy Webb. She's like, I don't need a rating. Yes, sir, she says. Okay, cool. His side of the card is the Ace of Cups, which is ecstasy. Girl, he's just bringing it to you. I like that both of these are cups cards. Like, it feels like emotionally the two of you are really connected really well. I love that this is the Woman of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Like, get it, bitch. I feel like and also like if you look at his card, it's all flowers and pretty. Like, it feels like to me, um, like he could be a little bit maybe romantic even. I'm not sure, but it just feels very emotionally connected and loving. The only thing that I see that's sort of, you kind of stress out. I don't know, like, I want to say, like, is he like a truck driver or something where he goes away for long periods of time or something and has to go far away? And then, for a few days or whatever, you have to miss him for like on business. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it feels like wherever he is, if he is far away, um, it's like he's still loving on you from way over there. Does that make sense? Like, I like this card. Like, it's kind of it's very cool. So I think you guys are like, I mean, yeah, couples have their issues. There was like a little bit of resistance, but like I said, it wasn't as bad as some of the other stuff. Not that I'm like judging the relationships, but it just felt kind of normal to me, like just normal couple stuff. And these two cards feel like really kind of linked up nicely. So I think you guys are kind of doing the do, as they say, even when he's away. Um, so I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to let you guys know that you guys can always book private readings with me. All my information is out there in the description of the video. I have one more reading. Linda Forte, are you still here? Thank you, Erica. Thank you. Thank you very much for saying that. Linda Forte, are you still here? You're welcome, Tammy. Because I have one more on my list of reservations, and then I can start taking other reservations. But I just don't want it to go crazy, so I'm going to take them one at a time. I guess Linda left. Althea Hinson, are you still here? Thank you, Nancy. Okay, I'm not gonna stop looking for people. I'm just gonna do the last reservation then, and then if people are, my thing is that I don't want like 5 people all to donate $10 at once, and then I got to do 5 more readings. So that's where I'm getting like, I don't want it to get crazy. Like, if there's people in here that start throwing donations at me. So the last person that I have is Eva and Keith Simmons. Is there an Eva Simmons in the room, please? No? What do you mean no? You don't want it, Ducky? I know she's here. I know. So are you ready? I'm not going to do it unless Ducky says so. Do you not want the reading, Ducky? You guys don't force her, like Ducky. Okay, so all right, perfect. Thank you, Ducky. All right, so here we go. Ducky, are you sure you want me to read these cards? All right, so there was a lot of struggle on that last. Like, I couldn't even get the cards to come together. I felt like I don't feel like it's bad energy though. I feel like y'all maybe fight or whatever, and kind of get in it, but it's not like it's not really it's not mean spirited. Does that make sense? It just felt like there's like certain times where you guys just butt heads, and it's like it's really hard to work it together. Um, so let me look at this here. So I've got the Woman of Worlds on one side, which is Preserver, and I have to say, like when I look at this, the first thing that comes to my eye is this sort of sad woman here. She seems like she's sort of like protecting herself. Um, uh, how do I want to say this? Like I feel like you keep your distance in some way. It's like, and that's what I mean by protecting yourselves. Like you don't truly let him like in. Like you kind of, I don't know, like you turn your back on him or something. At times, you kind of keep a wall up, if that makes any sense at all. Um, and it's to preserve yourself because maybe the fighting is too much, or you just don't like it. It's so unsettling, or whatever. That oh, you're both Leos. Oh, no wonder. No wonder why I couldn't push those damn cards together. And then on the opposite side, his card is the art card, and it feels like it's funny when I look at these. I don't know if you're going to see it the way I see it. When it's down on the table, okay, I'll show you. When it's down on the table, it's like these two cards. Oh, that's opposite. It's. Do you see those two hands there? Those feel like his hands reaching out to this woman, and she's got her back turned to him. Like she's not quite. She's like, no, not today. Like, sorry, the office is closed. Um, I feel like he gets kind of explosive and can get kind of explosive at times, but he tries to make up for it. He tries to make for a better future. That makes any sense. And I kind of feel like your card is a little bit like stuck in uh, like past stuff and fights that maybe you guys have had in the past or other situations in your life, whatever. So it kind of like you're just like, I don't know how much more I want to put up with this or deal with. So I'm just gonna kind of be over here and stay in my corner kind of thing. But I feel like there's a mutual respect between these two cards. I don't feel like, it's like I said, I don't feel like it's mean spirited. You guys might get in fights or whatever, but you still sort of respect each other in the end, and have uh, love for one another. But it's just it's a it's almost like the wills are so strong, for both of them, that it's when it gets kind of heated, everybody has to like separate. Does that make sense? Bye, Wendy Webb. All right, so is there anybody in the room that wants to do a relationship reading? That didn't get one? If not, so if somebody wants to do a relationship reading, I just need to know who it is, and you need to send the money via PayPal, and then no, it's they're paid. It's $10 for 2 cards. One represents the seeker, one represents the other person in the relationship. It can be any type of relationship. And my PayPal is attached to the description of the video. So I just need to know, because I'm going to take like maybe 2 more. That's about it. Maybe 1, 2 or 3 more, and that's it. So somebody needs to say and send. But so Denise, you want to do one? All right, so Denise, who is your person? I did have a wait list, but Linda Forte, Althea, Sage, is Sage Kuza here? Is Janet Munoz still here? Oh, Caroline did ask too. So Caroline, if you want one, I told you I would add you to the list. This is where it gets kind of wonky for me because I'm. All right, so Denise and Kristen, I'll do you guys, and then I'll do Caroline. Please send over, and Caroline, I need your other person in your relationship, the name of the other person. So Denise and Kristen. And then Caroline, please send me the name of your person. Yeah, just hit the link and send it over. Harold, okay. All right, so I'm gonna do Denise and Kristen right now. All right, so I feel like the thing that pops into my head between you two is like you two are like the sort of like the dynamic duo. I don't know what that's about. In the second shuffle, I got a little bit of that wonky Denise energy that like happens where the cards get kind of like clunky and heavy, but you two kind of tackle like stuff at work, and you're like sort of like a dynamic duo. Like you're a I don't know, like you get her done kind of thing. You get in there, you roll your sleeves up, and you get it done. Does that make sense? So Denise is the Woman of Cups, which is the Rejoicer. That card came up. Okay, so the Rejoicer is like Denise is all in it for the good time, and she has like mad love for you, Kristen. I think I have a feeling. Not, I mean, like in the sense that not like she likes. This is a very positive feminine woman card, right? And there's these 2 smiling women in the card. So it says to me that Denise really values you as a coworker, and probably even more so as a friend too. She doesn't just see you as a coworker, and like her time with you is sort of, she actually enjoys it. It's not like some people where they're like, oh fuck my coworker, like I can't deal with her. Like Denise actually like kind of likes hanging out with you, and then she's a little bit like all over the place, right? Like she's like about it, right? You, on the other hand, and this card came up in another read too, is equilibrium, which is the Two of Cups. You're a little bit more guarded, a little bit more calm, a little bit more reserved. You kind of keep things flowing. Like Denise would be, if anything, I would think Denise would be more the creative one. Like, hey girl, let's do this. And you're like, no, seriously, girl, let's like reel it in a bit and we'll do it this way. But the two of you kind of get it done. That's how you swing it. And you sort of balance her out. She keeps you kind of from getting too bored at work, maybe, or because like I feel like, I mean, yeah, like a little too bored. Like she makes it fun for you a little bit, and you keep her balanced and keep her kind of grounded in your own way. So that's how you guys sort of balance each other out and work really well together. And you guys feel like, and again, I gotta say this too, it's Two Cups cards. So we're talking about like emotional connection here. There's a definite connection. We've got the Two of Cups and the Woman of Cups. So this woman is really focused on like the fact that she loves her female friends and loves that, you know, there's just this feminine like vibe, like fist bumping vibe, like, yeah, bitch, get it. And then over here, the Two of Cups, you're a little bit more balanced and serious about your relationship, but it's still a two. Like you're still like, yeah, we're tight, we're down, we're ride or die bitches kind of thing. But you're a little bit more logistical, realistic, practical about it. And you're the one that kind of you know, like now I have this picture, like if you were in a boat, you'd be the one like steering it, trying to keep it like from rocking, and Denise would be the one all going like, look girl, look what I can do. Look. Trying to rock that shit for the fun of it all. Does that make sense? All right, so that was your reading. Send over your donation, please. And I'm gonna do Carolyn Seifert. I hope I pronounced that right. You're welcome, Denise. What do you mean, can you get a foursome? What do you mean, Tammy? Thank you, Kristen. That's you and your three daughters? You're welcome, Kristen. Wait, so I'm confused. Oh, okay. 4 cards for me and my 3 ladies. We could probably do that. Hold on though, let me get Carolyn outdone first. Carolyn, Ducky, Angel, Tammy, and Michaela. Yeah, I can try and do that. Just give me Carolyn, are you still here? Okay, did you send over payment? You did. Let me just double check. So I might have missed the notification. Sorry. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that I just need to check. So wait, I don't see the payment, Carolyn. Where did you send it? There's Denise's payment just came in. Thank you, Denise. I just saw that. No, it's $10. You send it to the it's $5 a card, basically. It's not a free one. Are you still interested, Caroline? If not, I'll do Ducky, Angel, Tammy, and Michelle as a foursome. Yeah, it's a $10. See, this is the thing, guys. Just so you know, too, it's a $10 donation for the reading because, and the reason why I charge for readings is because it's, I feel like it makes it more of an investment than people that are just looking for free readings. Because you like, there's a lot of people on Facebook I notice that are looking for free readings that aren't really listening to what they're being told, anyways, because it's free. They're not investing anything into the information that they're being given. So why? Why even listen? Like, let's just move on to the next reader and try and get a free card from that person. So to me, it's sort of like, if you're not if you really want the information, invest in yourself and you know pay attention, kind of thing. So I feel like asking for $5 a card isn't that much, and it also, I'm investing my time and my energy. You should be investing something too into your own search for answers, I guess. So that's kind of why I do it that way. And I've just sort of noticed, I've been looking at the energy and meditation about like how people jump from one live to another live to another live, just looking for free cards, free cards, free cards. And it's just like, and then everybody wants to squabble about like, how dare you charge for this? And it's like, well, but you're not listening to what's being said to you either. You've put no investment into it on your end. So. Anyways, so all right, Caroline, that's fine. Any other time is fine. But that's my theory on paid readings. So let's do for the end of the night. Let's do this 4-girl team reading. This is going to be a mess. All right, Ducky, Angel, Tammy, and Michelle. 1 second. So we've got Ducky, we've got Angel, we've got Tammy, we've got Michelle. All right, ready, girls? Here we go. Yes, thank you, Denise. I did get the donation. Thank you very much. Thank you, Angel. All right, so first is Ducky's card. Child of Worlds, player. So, again, I've got this sort of sad girl in the center, Ducky. What's going on here? I feel like, I'm going to look at all of these really quick. First off, the energy of the shuffle was good. Everything came together, not a lot of resistance. Y'all click. It seems like it's a really good working group. I got to say that right out of the gate. Ducky's card is the Child of Worlds. I feel like Ducky's sort of the leader, if that makes any sense. Ducky's got the most sort of life experience kind of thing going on here. I would say who was on the end is Michelle. For some reason, Michelle also feels a little bit more adult-like than, and I know that Ducky's kind of goofy and stuff, but Ducky's got more world experience in this whole Child of Worlds thing. It's like there's a lot going on here. She's been through a lot, she's seen a lot, she knows how to have a good time, she knows how to keep the energy flowing, she knows how to keep it moving. She's kind of like the gang leader, if that makes any sense. If you were like in a chick gang, Ducky'd be the one like heading up the gang with the red bandana and the switchblade. But she's she's definitely a woman of the world, and she has seen a lot, done a lot, and will talk about it and tell you all about it and show you how to do it. Now, the next person is Angel. Angel is the child of wands. So this says to me that Angel's probably the more, I don't know if sweet is the right word, but the more kind of like reserved, maybe hidden a little bit. Wands is deals with the spirit and spiritual. So I feel like where Worlds is more financial or material, I feel like Ducky's more outgoing, where Angel might be a little bit more not introverted, but like have more secrets, if that makes any sense. She'd be the one I'd want to sit next to at the party. I'd want to sit next to all of these girls at the party at one point or another, but this would be the girl that would be quietly over in the corner, kind of taking notes and judging everybody and knowing sort of all about them, so to speak. I also feel like there's a lot of empathy here in this card. Like I feel like if like you pick up on people's thoughts or emotions, you can probably tell when people are lying to you, that kind of a thing. I feel like you're probably the more quieter one of the group, if that makes sense. Now, Tammy is the balance card. So I'm not exactly sure. When I look at this, it feels like, to me, Tammy's probably the peacemaker amongst the group if anything ever breaks out or any fights sort of happen or anything like that, because it's obviously the balance card. I feel like, let me see here, 1 second. I feel like there's this interesting thing where it feels like when I look at Tammy's balance card and Ducky's card, there's a connection there. The two of you connect on some level about pain, if that makes any sense, or past experience. I don't know if you two are closer in age or something. There's something very similar. Both of you kind of link up on that, and there's this kind of, I would say, Ducky's kind of taking care of everybody. She's like the leader of the gang, but Tammy's the one that's in the background, kind of making sure that everything gets done correctly, if that makes sense. And I just feel like there's this interesting link between the two of you. I'm not exactly sure why, but it feels very like you guys have this relationship bond that, or something about your personalities that's very in sync. The last card is Michelle or Michaela, and this is the 10 of Wands. And it's interesting because I've got the Child of Wands is Angel and the 10 of Wands is Michelle. And that shows me that those two are more linked up in some way, like that these two girls kind of connect maybe a little bit similar to how Balance and Child of Worlds connect. This card to me is the growth card. I would say it's funny to me. Y'all are always joking and playing around with me and stuff, and that's great. But I almost think that the more y'all are like, the cards that feel the most serious here are Angels and Michelle's. Does that make sense? Like, and Michelle's is the growth card, which feels to me like she's all about sort of being like sort of a true friend. Not that, see, now I feel like I'm comparing everybody to each other, but I feel like Michelle's stuff is really rooted and is deep and real. I'm not saying that none of you guys aren't real. You're all real with each other. You all bring different aspects to this relationship, to this friendship, this group of women, right? But Michelle's kind of the most grounded, like super grounded one. Tammy is the sort of the one keeping the balance, making sure everybody's kind of okay. Angel's the one that's kind of silently like watching everybody, making sure, you know what I mean? Like the lookout. And Ducky's the one that's kind of managing all of it from above. And it's got like a million plates spinning. And she's like, look what I can do, look what I can do. But it works. It feels like there's connections here amongst all of these 4 cards that sort of are similar in nature. But I definitely feel like really strong connections between like this Ducky's card to Tammy's card and Angel's card to Michelle's card in the sense that the energies feel similar. Or so I don't know if like Angel and Tammy are closer in age. No, I'm sorry, Angel and Michelle are closer in age, and Ducky and Tammy are closer in age. Like that's kind of, I'm not sure, but that's kind of what it feels like to me is that there's, does that make sense? I don't know. Like that those that's the way that you all might like hang out. Like when you're not all four together, Michelle and Angel are together, and maybe Ducky and Tam. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Angel and Michelle are school friends. Okay, so that's where that connection is. And I gotta say this too. Like, is it the age thing too? Like, are Tammy and Ducky the older of the two of the four? Tammy and I are school friends. Exactly. So that's, and it's like, I feel like you all have seen a little bit more than the other two, but the other two are learners too. Like, there's a lot of serious energy in these cards. Like, it's like four very whip smart women that like don't take a whole lot of guff. And you each bring like your own sort of special power to this group that works really well, and it's balanced. It feels really, it's thanks to Tammy's card, this balance card. There's a good balance here, and it's also like all of these wands cards. It just feels very like linked up and spiritual, and it's a good connection. It's a good foursome. All right, so that's, oh my God, it's 111. We've been on 1 hour and 11 minutes and 59 seconds. Now it's 112, but never mind. Anyways, I just noticed that on YouTube. So you guys are good. Everybody's good. I think I'm good. I think we're good for the night. I think we've got a new moon coming, guys. Still, we get to go out and we get to like set new affirmations about the things we want in our lives. You guys get to affirm the relationships that you have in your lives that are good and what's working. And you can also like sort of change what's not, and make the choices and decisions to do that too if you want to. You're welcome. You guys are super welcome. I had a good time. I was like sort of interested in seeing how this was going to go. We'll have to next time. I don't know how I like the reservation system, but it kind of I think it confused some people just first coming into the room. Or maybe I need to just have it only be in the Engelgeist room, and then that way I don't broadcast it out. So I don't know. I got to find the right way to do it so that people feel like they're not confused and all of that. Hey, Melinda Ann McMahon, how are you? Thank you, Angel. All right, you guys. So like, share, subscribe. Most of you are already in the group. Share the video wherever you can to any groups or any. Oh yeah, we could take a vote on. I'll have. Can you set up polls? I wonder if I can set up a poll for what in the Engelgeist group for what the next theme night will be for pop up. Like if it will be finance or I don't know. We'll have to come up with something. I'm not sure. Like I'm afraid everybody's going to want health, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to talk about everybody's health. But I'm not a doctor. But we could do health as a subject. I don't know. Love is a good one. Money is a good one, or finance, career. Yeah. So yeah. Anything but health, Pat says. Exactly. Well, I mean, it's not that I don't like doing health readings. It's just, a whole night of them might be kind of a little bit beleaguering. I don't know. All right, you guys. So I had a lot of fun. Connecting to a past person would be fun too, and I need to practice that. I'm a little I don't consider myself a medium, but like there was something that like happened tonight with Michelle's reading with her for her and her dad. And her dad, she mentioned when she paid for the reservation that her dad is passed. So I knew that, but seeing the cards and the way they represented and what I was feeling in the shuffle, it was I kind of felt like it was a really interesting feeling for me. Like, so I think that's a possibility for the future, like learning how to do that. Because sometimes I have had past loved ones come through in readings on cards, but I can't always guarantee it, and I never know when it's going to happen. But I just winged it with Michelle's, and sure enough, it was like boom, 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 and there he was, like with that long path, like on the other side, saying, "Hey, I'm over here, and everything's harmonious. Don't worry." And so it's a possibility. Yeah, if you missed it, you could go back and watch it on the video. And remember, you guys, today was the love card. So I hope that you guys all feel a little bit of love, not only from me, but from your relationships, and create more love with this new moon and all that good stuff. I don't even think anybody's watching on YouTube. I have 2 viewers on YouTube. It's probably Angel and Ducky. I've been staring at the Facebook camera the whole time. YouTubers probably hate me. They're like, that bastard, he doesn't even look at us. Can I do exorcists? I have a few that need it. Oh my God, how funny. All right, so thank you guys for making this fun and making it a success. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't, be doing this, especially Ducky. Thank you. And I will talk to you all. I'll be on tomorrow, Sunday, so we get our 3-card forecast, and for the week, we start a new week. So we'll be moving forward into that new week. Go out under the moon tonight and do some affirmations. You're welcome. Thank you. I had a great time too. It was a lot of fun. Yes, thank Ducky for all the work. Ducky does a lot of work to like moderate and to produce like all of the advertisements and the ideas. I mean, it was Ducky's idea about taking reservations. Like, it was really smart. You're welcome, Steve. I'm glad you guys were able to tune in. Did you get the dishes done? Is that Steve? That's Steve, I'm assuming, right? I think one's SJ and one's JS, I think. Or maybe I'm wrong. That might be Jen. But hopefully you got your dishes done. All right, so you guys have a good night, and I will talk to you later. Bye.